All right, I want to show you guys a breakout or a fake out. Okay, let me show you the trade that I'm looking at. Again, this is agent session. I'm trading a paper account. Right here, I have an area that was once resistance. We've broken through it. Now, I'm most likely expecting this to either bounce off of here or reject the area, right? As you can see here, my white line is at 780. Okay, if you go to Bookmap, at 780, at one point there was a bunch of sellers here, and right now at 780, where is it? I mean, it's definitely a lot of orders, but it's not red. But again, I do have to remember that it is agent session. Looks like it's going to 718. Is it going to keep going up? We need to see more green bubbles pop up and continue to go up. No, it looks like it's going to go down. Oh, they're fighting. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely struggling. Let's see how it looks on the chart here. There is some type of supply here too, so that's something to note. Let's see how that looks on the Bookmap. Normally I have two screens so I don't flip back and forth, but this is just an example. You see how these buyers were up here, but then the sellers kind of basically took control. Like, in order to see a continuation to the upside, we would have needed to see these green bubbles continue to go up. Wow. And then it just teleports down. Okay, let me see how this looks on the chart. Yeah, I rejected this area here. But I want to see how that looks on Bookmap, though. I mean, yeah, as you can see, there really was kind of no area of interest here, right? There was no orders like this one. This one's at 17,840. So 17,840. Oh, geez, I'm so lost. This is just resistance. Okay, that makes sense. But you see how, yes, this is a small supply zone, but according to the Bookmap, it's not an actual area of interest. You know, you understand? Like, this is going to be very important, especially when we're actually trading, because normally I would take, if we broke out of here longs, I would have probably taken a long, not knowing that there is a bunch of sellers up here, right? This is an area of interest on Bookmap, so I would need to see how we would have reacted right here at 840. But we're touching up on this 780 level, so I want to see how that looks. Right here, you can see lots of orders at 780. That door is kind of being open. Now we're going to need to start seeing a lot of sellers. Boom, lots of sellers right here. I'll definitely, let's say we got in a short here. Me personally, though, I kind of would wait for the 1 minute, at least a 1 minute time frame. But this looks crazy. So let's just say we got in a short. Yes, I'm in 27 contracts. This is just a paper account that I like to gamble in. But let's say we got short here, right? My stop loss would be above the white line that I have. Let's move this up here so you kind of understand what I'm looking at. And then what I would aim for is I would look at Bookmap and see what really is the next area of interest right here at 1700, basically at 700. Then I would aim for 700. Where is that? That is right down here. Okay, let's say I put my TP here. This is a nice 1 to 2. If I got a better entry, my best entry would have been right as I saw that door opening of these orders getting taken down here. I would have put, if I was very aggressive, I would have put the sell there. My entry would have been something like this, right? But if you want to wait for confirmation or for a better push, then you could also do that. But as you can see, the next area of interest was where there is a lot of orders, and right now it looks like it's definitely gonna touch that area. Now normally I would drag this down and start trailing it, but I just want to see how it looks in Bookmap. And I know my Bookmap looks very odd. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out my settings still. Oof. Wait, look at what happened here. Wait, where was that? Oh, right here. Okay. I wasn't tripping, yeah. So this is the line down here. There's still a lot of orders here. And we're still very close to... Oh, you see that? You see the red popping? Look. This looks like an algorithm. Oh my gosh, look at that. And then the door opened up. And then it keeps continuing to the next area of interest. You saw that? Look at all these red orders down here. Wow. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you can't see on candlesticks. And that was a perfect trade. But you understand, like, yes, I could use, the candlesticks, but I feel like with the candlesticks, it's more kind of a gamble because you're not actually looking at what's actually going on, right? And what I mean by that is that we can actually see liquidity in Bookmap. What is liquidity? It's just aggressive orders. And it works for me because I'm a breakout trader. Normally, I take trades like this, where we break out of an area of interest, right? And what we saw there was it was definitely an area of interest, right? So we get that confirmation that this is crazy, by the way. Also, it's 9 p.m. and we get a 600 tick dump. This is not normal for Asian session. But yeah, like I said, like it's a confirmation that this area right here was definitely of interest, which we kind of already knew. You can tell, right? We don't need Bookmap to see that, but we do need Bookmap in order to see where liquidity is. Okay, so what was here at 665 or 656? Let's see what was there on Bookmap, because I'm pretty sure I saw like a huge red order. Yeah, right here. 680. Where's that at? Let me see. Oh no, that's... Oh no, yeah, this was all the way down here. 680. But there was something lower. But you see that heat there? And then lots of sellers. Didn't continue to go down. But... Wait, let me see that. Okay, boom, right here. Lots of sellers. The door didn't open up. Couple seconds later, lots of sellers, and the door opens up. What I mean when the door opens up is that this red here, which is where there is a lot of orders, it disappears right after market touches up on it, causing it to go lower. But what was here? What is this? 665. this could have been another one of my targets, right? I could have definitely aimed for this. Wait, what was that? I'm sorry. 665. Yeah, right here, right at the bottom. And you can see on Bookmap, it's been there. So if I saw this earlier, I could have aimed for this for sure. But yeah, that was a crazy trade that I just caught on my paper account. That's so unfortunate. But I know for New York session, it's definitely going to help my confidence with getting into trades and actually not getting faked out, basically. Because I feel like without Bookmap, specifically for me, because I've been on a little losing streak, especially last week, and I feel like I kind of need this confirmation, and the Bookmap is going to help that confidence, is going to help that confirmation that I would need, right? But yeah, this is very cool. Yeah, I love this. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Another example right here. Whoa, I did not mean to do that. Okay. Okay, another example. Boom, we have this red right here. And it happened very quick. But you can see the red, after we touch up on it, it stays there. And I mean, it's still there. But yeah, I think if, let's say we were thinking of going long, me personally, I would have waited for these orders right here to disappear. Okay. And I talked about that in my other Bookmap video, but this was just a trade example of what I would be looking for live. Okay. Also, this does not mean that I'm going to trade more. At least right now, I feel like less is always more, especially when you just stick to trading at one time. Okay. Also, if you were once a options trader and you use Thinkorswim, you can get Bookmap for free. If you never traded options, you never had Thinkorswim, you can go to bookmap.com and get Bookmap. You have to pay a subscription for it. They do have a free trial, I believe, and they do have a free version, but it's going to be delayed and it's going to be not useful. Okay. So yes, you do have to pay a subscription for this, and you also have to pay a separate data CME subscription as well. But anyways, I hope you guys learned something from this. Bookmap definitely looks a bit complicated, but it's very simple. As you can see, I'm not looking at all of these things over here. I'm just looking to see where there is liquidity / aggressive orders.